All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Shai, Hashem, Hakudash. Double honor to my apostles, to the elders of Great Millstone. Much peace and love to all the brothers that's pushing His word and truth and sincerity. The name of this lesson is going to be "Count It All Joy." Because this is what the Scripture tells us to do. We got to have a mindset that, we're going to suffer in this present life, and the things that we go through ain't going to be all fine and dandy all the time. Everything ain't going to be all cupcakes and, Cheerios and, Fruit Loops. Everything is not going to be sweet, man. Because, the sufferings of this present time, they ain't going to be compared. I'm going to get that scripture, Yahweh Tazah, get that scripture, man, because, you go through a lot of shit, man. Go through a lot of things in this truth. And you just gotta have a joyful mindset. Even though it's hard sometimes, and I'm doing this lessons to edify you brothers and to, build myself up, man, through the Spirit. So this is James chapter 1, verse 1. It says, James, a servant of God and of the Lord, Yahweh Shai Mashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. Greeting. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. So count it all joy when we find out, you might not have a place to stay. You might not have a place to lay your head. You might not have your own car. These are some things that everybody doesn't have that particular thing right at that moment. But in due time and patience, you will get those things. The Lord knows what we need, man. And it's aggravating as hell when you have to depend on others, for places to stay and things of that nature, man. But it's aggravating as hell. You wish you had your own shit, your own spot, your own car. So that way you ain't got to worry about a motherfucker kicking you out over some bullshit, man. But it's the sufferings of this present time that we have to go through, man. And it's a heartache and it's a headache, but we got to go through it because the trying of our faith work is patience, man. And patience goes back to what? Suffering. And I'm gonna look that up real quick because if you're being patient, you're gonna suffer. It says the quality of being patient in suffering. So we got to be patient in suffering. We going through shit. We got to be patient. We got to wait. Hell, the Lord ain't going to make a car just fall out of the sky. It takes patience. It takes time. But you got to believe that the Lord can do these things also, including myself, I got to believe that the Lord can do these things for me. The Lord is going to provide for us if we believe it. I got to believe it. You got to believe it, man. It's whoever is here in the Spirit, man, Got to believe these things. Just can't walk. You can't just talk the talk. You got to walk the walk with the Lord. Me, including me first, man. I'm speaking for myself first. It says patience, suffering, sufferance. This is permission. Patience, endurance, submission. Because we got to come into submission that we under these damn demons, man. We got to come under the submission of this wicked ass world. But we're conquering it through the Spirit. We can't conquer this world through the flesh, man. Because Satan gonna win every time. So we got to come into subjection under this present world. And it sucks like hell, man. So we got to be willing to submit to the bullshit that we got to go through. We got to yield. We got to just deal with it, man. You can't go around it. You can't go to the left. You can't go to the right. You got to go through it, man. Speaking for myself first and foremost, man. And I'm going to keep saying that. It's something that I got to keep in mind. Shit just happens. You just got to go through it, man. And there's nothing you really could do. Yahweh Shai didn't have a place to lay his head, man. And that's the stress. You don't have nowhere to bathe, Nobody, nowhere to lay your head, nowhere to feel comfortable. You just basically, hey, Yahushua said himself, foxes have holes, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head, man. So these are the sufferings that Yahushua went through. How are we much greater, man? We got to go through the same thing that he went through, you know? And us brothers, man, we be feeling it sometimes, man. Feeling the hell that we go through. It says quality of suffering. Okay, to suffer, endure, to damage and cure hurt. So we're trying to endure. That's what we're doing when we're having patience. We're enduring. And that's what it's all about, endurance. Because what's going to make us make it to the finish line? Endurance, patience, suffering. It says, verse 4, but let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. So you gotta trust the process. The Lord ain't gonna take us through nothing that's not gonna benefit us, man. You know, some things the Lord take you through, it may benefit you, but you might not see it right then and there. You just gotta trust the process. This is 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 1. For as much that as Hamashiach has suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. For he that has suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin. Wow, man, we got to remember that, man. We got to remember that we're trying to cease from sin. We got to remember that. He that had trouble in the flesh has ceased from sin. And these people out here, they're full of sin, man. They're full of the Satan's juice. They full of sin. And we suffering in the flesh because we're trying to cease from it, man. We try not to go off, man. These niggas out here, they willingly go off, whether they know it or not. If they know it, they too ignorant, and they don't give a damn. And if they don't know it, they too ignorant to care about it. Ignorance is bliss, man. But I gotta read that again, man. This is 1 Peter 4:1. For as much as then as Hamashiach has suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. For he that has suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin, that he no longer should have the rest of his time to the flesh, to the lust of men, but to the will of God. And that's what we following after, man. You know, we trying to follow after the will of Yahweh Shem Shai. For the time past of our life may suffice us to be wroth the will of the Gentiles when we walked in the lasciviousness, lust, excess of wine, revelings, and banquets, and abundance in idolatries, wherein they think it strange that we run not with them to the same exercise of excuse of right, speaking evil of you, because we don't do the things that we used to do. You know, that's Jake love to remind you what you used to do in the world, man. You know, just because we don't do those things anymore, they speak evil of us. You know, they speak very evil. Oh, when you cease to do wickedness, man, that's the main reason why we're suffering, man. This is Hebrews chapter 2, verse 10. For it became him for whom are all things, and by whom are all things, in bringing many sons unto glory, to make the captain of their salvation perfect through sufferings. So we got to go through suffering. You know, that's the bottom line. We got to go through sufferings. We're made perfect through sufferings. Gold is tried in the fire. Acceptable men in the furnace of adversity, man. Like it says in Sirach chapter 2. So we gotta have our minds right, man. We gotta gird up the loins of our minds that we gonna suffer. And it ain't gonna come. It's gonna come when you least expect it, man. You know, he might catch you off guard. But you gotta know that it's coming though. You gotta know when Satan he's lurking about, seeking whom he may devour. Like it says in the Bible, man. So it says in the scriptures. You got to beware of him. This is Ephesians 6:16. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. So if we take on that shield of faith, man, we'll be able to quench all these darts that the devil throws at us. That Satan, which the word Satan is from the Hebrew word shaitan, which means adversary. So whatever the adversary throws at us, we'll be able to take it. You know, suffering poverty, you know, you suffering not having a place to stay, not having reliable transportation, not having a job, you know. And there's many other things out there. You late on bills, you know, this is due, that's due, you know, subject to payments. You might be behind on your car payments, you know. Hey man, whatever the situation is, man, these bullshit ass situations can't break us, man. You know, Yahushua has conquered this world, man. He said, I have overcome, man. I'm gonna have to do a part 2 to this. This is John chapter 16, verse 33. These things have I spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. And we have peace in Yahushua, man. You know, it says, in the world you should have tribulation. And where we at, man? You know, we in the world. We in the midst of this world, man. We gonna have tribulation. Therefore, we ain't gonna have no rest to our minds, our bodies, or our souls, man. It says, but be of good cheer, to be happy, man. That's the point of this lesson. You know, and I'm telling that to myself, man. Be happy, man. Yahushua has overcome this world, man. That's greater than anything that we could ever suffer, man. It says, I have overcome the world. Yahushua has overcome this shit, man. So that gives me strength. That strength in my mind, letting me know that, hey, look, we in this. We gonna ride this thing out, man. We in it to win it, man. It ain't no other.